Hi friends, Shayla here. So I have a pile of manga here that I kind of want to read, and it all kind of has that LGBT theme to it. So I decided to just put it all in a vlog together. Technically, I only have one BL title, and the rest are Yuri's, but I am still very excited to read them all. And I hope you guys enjoy me doing this kind of a format. I might continue to do this and kind of gather up all my LGBT titles and kind of read them all together. So first up, I have Strawberry Fields Once Again, Volume 1. This just looks absolutely adorable. On the back, it says, I am your future amour, your lover. And it just looks adorable. And I love their height difference. Like, I'm just feeling the vibe of this a lot. And I really want to give this a try. The BL title that I have is The God and the Flightless Messenger, and it is a longer one. So I'm really excited to read this. This is the entire series, and I'm so excited to give you guys my thoughts. And I've heard really like cute things about this one, so I'm really interested to see how I feel about it once I get there. Next, we have Donuts Under a Crescent Moon, which is like Yuri office romance, which, you know, we love when it's adults. And this is obviously very modern. It's a newer series, and I'm just excited. The next one here is Even Though We're Adults, Volume 1. I believe one of them is an elementary school teacher, and I'm not 100% sure if this is like a taboo where she ends up dating one of the moms of the kids that she teaches. Like, I'm not 100% sure. I'm going in mostly blind to this one. I'm just so intrigued by it, and the fact that it's adult women makes me even more excited about it. So I'm really excited to, I keep saying excited. I'm interested to get going on this one. And then the next one I have the first two volumes of, and that is Days of Love at Seagull Villa. So I've got this first one. I believe it has like a single parent element to it, which y'all know I vibe with anyway. So I'm just very excited. Look at them being all domestic together. I love it. So, yes, I plan on reading these in the next little while. Today's kind of cleaning day, so you're getting from Shay. Sorry. I'm gonna be deep cleaning downstairs later, so I'm just not gonna bother with makeup. So, good thing my complexion's good right now. But yeah, once I've read at least something where I can give you a little more description on what's going on any of these, I'll pop back in and we'll chat. All right, so I have finished the first chapter of The God and the Flightless Messenger. And from what I gather in the first chapter, we have Shin here. He is a messenger of the gods, but he has a deformity with his wings. So he has really tiny wings, so he can't really fly like the other messengers. And so he gets teased a lot, and he's naturally antagonistic because of that. But what we've learned about the gods is that anytime there's chaos around them, like it causes them a lot of grief and a lot of problems. So the god at the main mountain ends up sending Shin to be a messenger, kind of caretaker for the god on the 32nd mountain, which is like the furthest mountain away, I believe. Um, and the god who resides there seems to be very sweet and soft in regards to Shin and lets Shin care for him. And it's really sweet so far. But it seems that some messengers are now disappearing and we don't know why. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how things play out from here. It also looks like Shin met a god when he was young. I'm assuming it's his current god now. And he asked the question just before I paused, like, when I'm bigger, can you be my god kind of a thing. So I think that's what's happening here. Like, it's really sweet so far, but I'm really interested to the other plot that's going on as well. I'm really excited to dive in. I don't know that I'll check in again before I finish. I might, because this is a longer volume. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, I'm really liking it. I also really like the art. I think the art is absolutely just beautiful. Let me pull up the, like, look at this. I love it. I really love the art style, so I'm very excited to keep going. Okay, so I just finished chapter 2 now, so I'm that far in. And I felt like I had to come back and explain something because now we've learned that the god Shin wasn't sure what he ate or anything because he only feels the pureness of this god's soul, but he doesn't really ever see his mouth or anything. And what happened is we discovered through this that this god actually feeds and like eats the chaos that is harmful to other gods. So it's really interesting. And Shin tends to be kind of chaos ridden. So I think they're going to be a really good pair. And I'm really liking it. And I'm pretty sure that they've met previously. And I just love it. So I'm very, very excited to finish up the rest of this. But I wanted to kind of answer that before I kept going. So. Righty, so I just finished The God and the Flightless Messenger, and this was really incredibly sweet. I found this, childhood friends to lovers story really, really sweet. I was right, he was the God that he was friends with when he was a kid, and it actually bloomed into a beautiful romance then, but the God had gotten kicked off the mountain, and so he wiped Shin's memories of him. But as they had started to interact, the memories had started to come back. And one of the other gods decided to untangle the web so that Shin remembered and could share in the love together. And it was just so, so sweet. I really, really loved it. The special chapter at the end was a lot of fun. I really thought it helped kind of give you a little bit of like an epilogue kind of situation. And it was just adorable. I really liked the characters. I really liked the art a lot. I mean, I'm not sure I showed a good panel, but I really just found the whole thing to be really sweet. And there is that bullying tone because of his wings and stuff, so do know that going in. But his god Baku is what he named him. Helps him, like helps protect him, and it's really sweet. Like I'm just feeling all gushy and warm inside now, and I'm just really happy I read it. So if you have the means to pick this one up, I would definitely recommend doing so. I thought it was adorable and really sweet, and I love that it's all contained in the one volume. It is listed at 15 without any discounts, so I think that's like affordable for basically a 2-volume series. That's still cheaper than buying 2 individual volumes. So though Tokyo Pop, isn't necessarily like my favorite in design of how they do their volumes, I really think they did a great job with this cover, and I love it. I love it a whole lot. Solid 4-star, maybe more. I'm going to sit on it a bit, but I really enjoyed this, and I just thought their romance was super sweet. Like, definitely worth spending some time reading it, if not purchasing it on your own. So, yes, highly recommend. Now, everything else from here on out in this vlog is going to be Yuri, so it's sapphic, and we're going to live in those vibes. Okay, so I'm back, and I actually just finished Donuts Under a Crescent Moon. I didn't do a check-in after the first chapter because I was so engrossed in the story that I did not want to stop. So in this one, we are primarily following Uno, and Uno is a woman who I'm pretty sure knows that she's attracted to women and not men, but she's trying to quote unquote be normal because her mother's kind of browbeat her into thinking that's what she has to do with her life. At work, she has a senpai 5 years older than her who is kind of quiet and reserved, and everybody says she's alone all the time, and she can be kind of brusque with people. And Uno finds herself attracted to Sato, and I adore these two. In this, it's very much a journey of self-discovery for Uno in particular, but even for Sato as well. They both are kind of going on this journey, and the whole symbolism with the donuts is really, really sweet. I'm not going to spoil that here because I want you guys to experience it yourselves, because that little touch, it's in the first chapter, but I'm still not going to tell you what it is because that just adds to the level that I love this volume of manga. I'm definitely going to be continuing on with this series. It is so sweet and so pure. Sato has a sister named Subaru, and she's like meddling and trying to get Sato to like move forward with Uno, and it's cute. I really, really like it. And the art is absolutely just haunting and beautiful. And just the whole discussion about societal expectations and norms is really well done in this one. And I just had the best time reading it. And I cannot wait to read more. This definitely is, you know, could potentially be triggering. There's a lot of Uno talks down about herself a lot. I mean, I've never seen it to the point of like suicide, but there's a lot of self-loathing, and you see kind of the browbeating that her mom has done for her and things. So, anyways, it's really just something I think you guys should explore. This was so beautiful, and I really love the journey that they're going on in this story, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait for the next volume. Like, I need it in my hands yesterday kind of situation. Okay, so I read the first chapter of Even Though We're Adults, and I'm getting a clearer picture of what's going on. Yes, the woman with the bob is an elementary school teacher, and the girl with the longer hair works at a bar, and they kind of meet up and have a moment. And after that, the teacher comes back to the bar that she works at, and she brings her husband. So I think this is going to involve cheating, and y'all know how I feel about cheating tropes. And I didn't do enough research on this one before I bought it to discover that. So I'm going to see how the rest of this goes, and we'll make a decision at the end whether I want to continue or not. And if I don't, I have people who are okay with cheating tropes that I can send this on to that would probably enjoy it. So I am going to keep going and see what happens from here. Okay, so I just finished Even Though We're Adults. And here are my current thoughts. I think I will let other people read ahead and see how they feel about it to see if I want to continue. In this one, like, we have the pseudo cheating element. These two women are very drawn to each other, but the woman who's married, her husband is aware of the situation, and the teaser in the back of the volume says that the husband's at least telling his mom that they may end up divorced. And so I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, he was very invested in their marriage and was really happy. And all of a sudden he's finding out that she's not. And he's not doing very well with that information. So I don't know what's going to happen from here. Then again, I may try to look things up online and see if I can get a better grasp of where the series is headed. And, this is one that may not have a happily ever after. I don't know. But it wasn't bad. It was very engaging. Once I got into the story, I didn't want to put it down until I finished. But, when all three of them met up, like, it got kind of awkward, as is understandable. But I do like that she's not hiding her feelings from her husband. And we just got to kind of figure stuff out from here. So I'm still on the fence about this one right now. I don't know. If you've read ahead in this series and you know the direction, maybe DM me and let me know so that I can make a better judgment from there. But comparing this to like Donuts Under a Crescent Moon, I definitely prefer Donuts Under a Crescent Moon. This one has just an element that I don't even like in my novels. Like, I don't like cheating elements. I never have. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this one. I should have done a little more research on this one before I picked it up, but that's on me, not on any of you. So, yeah, it is messy right now, but again, I gotta figure out how I feel. I'm gonna sit on my feelings for a bit before I give it a rating, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. All right, same location, but freshly showered Jay. So I have another series to talk about. We're going to talk about Strawberry Fields Once Again, Volume 1. In this one, we have this girl named Pure who seems to have come from 5 years in the future, knowing that she is the love of Arika's life in 5 years' time. But Arika, at this point in her life, has basically said she will never have a 3D relationship. She will only have 2D relationships because her parents' love story ended tragically in her dad had been cheating on them, had another family. They'd been divorced for a while, but they didn't tell the kids. The mom has passed away. So it's just her and a younger brother at this point. And so Pure is doing everything in her power to give her the love that she's been missing, it seems. And she has made a few comments throughout the volume that makes it sound like she was rejected 5 years in the future rather than being the love of her life kind of a situation. So I don't know if this is like an Orange situation where she's come back through time to save her from that kind of a fate. I don't know. I just don't know enough. And she like got the brother to kind of snap out of it. He's been in his bedroom basically for a year straight. And Arika's just kind of let him be in his room. So she kind of, Pure ended up kind of snapping him out of it. And so that he can be there for his sister and kind of helping her be in a better place mentally. I don't know what that's going to do for 5 years in the future because we haven't seen any of that timeline other than one quick flash. So I'm really interested to see where this one's going to go, but it kind of has that slightly somber tone throughout. So as sweet and as fun as this is, it does have that somber tone kind of in the background throughout the entirety of this volume. So I'm going to warn you that's there. That might be a potential thing in the future. I don't know for sure. But this is just my gut instinct from my years of reading manga at this point, that I think that's the direction it's headed, just in the way the storytelling is being done. So with that said, I did really enjoy this. I'm definitely going to pick up the next volume, and I'm really interested to see how this is going to continue. And I have no idea how long the series is. I haven't done any research on that yet. Anyways, just know that that is a thing that is present in this volume, and they are really, really sweet. And we definitely see Arika come around to Pure by the end of the volume. But again, we don't know what that's going to mean for the future. So it's going to be really interesting to see where things go from here. I've got one more series to try out for you guys, and then we'll wrap up this vlog. Okay, so I just finished the first chapter of Days of Love at Seagull Villa. This seems each chapter is kind of like a day. So we have Mayumi, and she just arrived in the country. She took a job as a teacher, and she's supposed to be boarding at Seagull Villa. So when she shows up, she's kind of looking out over the ocean. She looks kind of glum because back in the city at home, her boyfriend at the time, or fiance, I believe, ends up breaking things off with her because he got her best friend pregnant. So clearly things were not all kosher there. And so this blonde woman, let me see, Rin, she's the landlord of Seagull Villa, and she actually ends up like pulling her away from the railing, being like, "Don't jump, don't do it." And then they both fall in the water together. So she brings her back to Seagull Villa to clean up, and then they find out that that's where she's supposed to be anyway. But Rin is the landlord, and she raises her niece there. And then there's another teenage girl living there that I don't know too much about yet. But Rin wants to give her a warm welcome, feeds her local fare, and kind of invites everybody over. But Mayumi is a shy person, so she gets nervous around new people, especially big groups of new people. And Rin's just doing everything she can to protect her, and she's very excited to have somebody her own age around. And as Rin is drunk, after she's apologized and stuff for like overstepping with Mayumi, she leans over and kisses Mayumi, and she's like, "A kiss for my friend." So she's one of those drunks that's like an "I love you" drunk, where she just is very affectionate. So I wonder how that's going to play into the rest of the story, but I am very, very excited for the future of this. It's looking really fun so far. I really like this, discovering yourself kind of thing. And she's never really Mayumi's never really connected with people before, but she seems to already be connecting with Ren. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm very, very excited. So I'm going to keep going. I'll probably check in at the end of this volume because I do have volume 2 as well. So let's get going. Okay, so it's been a bit. I just finished volume 1 of Days of Love at Seagull Villa, and I've gotten to know the characters a little bit more. So Rin, this blonde woman here, has lost all of her family recently, and she's been feeling kind of lonely as well. It's been 4 years since her family passed away, and she's been raising her niece that entire time because she was 18 when they all passed away, and she was the only one that the little girl was the only one that survived the crash with her parents and her brother and his wife. And so the little girl's the only survivor. She wasn't with them. And we have the best friend of Mayumi who had slept with her boyfriend. She seems to be hunting Mayumi down for a reason, and it seems kind of like sinister. I don't know all the reasons. I don't understand that part of the plot yet, but we're getting to know this little town where she's teaching, and the teenage girl is clearly being bullied at school, so trigger warning for that if you're sensitive to that. And like by her own, I guess, step sibling, because she, you know, was the product of her dad's cheating, I guess is how that goes down. But anyways, I'm really enjoying like the tone and the art of this series. Like the art is just so pretty. I really, really love the art. And so I've got volume 2 here. I'm going to keep going, but right now, like, I'm really glad I've picked this up. Okay, so I just finished volume 2 of Days of Love at Seagull Villa. So we deal with the teenage girl a bit more in this volume. We get her in a safer place because living at her family home was pretty toxic for her. So she is now living at Seagull Villa, and she and the half sister, not stepsister, I said it wrong in the previous clip. They have a much better relationship now that she doesn't live in the house, because she feels like she can actually be friends with her because she doesn't have to necessarily like put on airs for the mother, who's clearly not okay with the situation. But between Rin and Mayumi's did like really come into realizing she has feelings for Rin. And Mayumi's friend who like stole her boyfriend and whatnot, she claims she lost the baby. I'm guessing she was never really pregnant. And now she's come out to Seagull Villa to look at Mayumi's life and to make her feel like garbage and try to get her to come back to Tokyo, saying she's the only one who understands her. But we all know that's not true. Like, she's just one of those vindictive girls that has to always be better or steal things from people who, you know, are settling in and happy in their lives. And it's a really good series because I really like the way the friendship and relationship is blossoming between Rin and Mayumi. And from here, the subplot of the ex-best friend is what I'm going to call her now, is actually really solid and really well done. So I'm going to do a quick wrap up out in front of the bookshelves and tell you guys which ones I'm going to keep picking up volumes for and which ones I'm going to wait on. Okay, so I'm just grabbing from the top of my stack and going from there. I don't remember the order that they're all sitting in right now. So first up I have Even Though We're Adults, and in this one, I really think I'm going to wait for a little while, get a little more feedback on the rest of the series before I continue this one, just because it does have that cheating trope that I'm not a huge fan of, and I think I'm going to just wait and see how things end up playing out for a while. Let other people kind of get ahead of me so I can better gauge it and see how I'm going to feel going forward. Then we have The God and the Flightless Messenger. I can't continue with this one because it's complete, but I adored it and I would recommend people checking it out. This is a really sweet, slightly like fantasy paranormal BL, and honestly, like, it was just so sweet. Like, go pick this one up. And then we have Donuts Under a Crescent Moon, and this one I will definitely be continuing. I really liked this office romance. It was really sweet. Both of our characters have a lot to offer our story, and it's just going to be fantastic and a great exploration. Then we have Strawberry Fields once again, another one I will definitely be continuing. I really enjoyed this first volume, and I'm really curious about the hook with this one to see how it's going to play out. So yes, definitely here for this one. And then last but not least, we have Days of Love at Seagull Villa. I'm definitely a fan of this. I'm definitely going to be picking up more because this series has a lot to offer emotionally for the story in multiple different ways. Like, I really just enjoy it and it's going to be fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to more here. Okay, so that's a quick little wrap up of my thoughts on the things I've read and what I'm going to continue and prioritize and what I've completed and what I'm going to wait on. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. As you can see, I'm exploring more BL and Yuri titles. So if you have any recommendations, always leave them down below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.